City of mine, how I love the city of mine. It never gets me down. City of mine, how I love the city of mine. It never gets me down, yeah.
I was born in the city, I was raised on its edges. My pop worked his life when it's complex. I found love in its center. If I could live here forever, think it'd be for the better. I love the weather, even though it's fog 24/7. I love the people, this is city. I met all my best friends, and I wanna thank every brick. I wanna thank every entrance to every building that I step in this city of mine. I owe you most my best moments in life. See, I fell in love for the first time in Golden Gate Park. I saw my first rap show at Great American Hall. I used to beg my homies for a ride across the bridge to goof off and spend the whole damn day doing whatever we want. Keith drove us down to Ike's place while we'd roll up a blunt, and me and Jack would get stoned, walk around and get lost. Don't think I'll ever truly pay back all I was lucky to get just by walking through the city. No, I'm a small part of this.
City of mine, how I love this city of mine. It never gets me down. City of mine, how I love this city of mine. It never gets me down.
I never really had a place to call my own, so I travel and I roam till I find that. But I'm full of adventure, so I wander and I venture, and it's safe to say that really I don't mind that. I book a flight to try to figure where my mind's at, a spot where I don't spend no money, just some time at. I mix and mingle with the people till I learn a little. I brought some weed and baby, maybe we could burn a little. She said you're funny, I said no, I'm Xavier, then I left. Sun shining, birds chirping, let me take a breath. I'm headed to the city where my chance to make it best. What people like to give a little, then you take the rest. I'm hoping one day maybe I can find a place to rest. I fell in love with life and wonder where it take me next. I like the hustle and bustle, I fell in love with the fashion. I feel the pulse of the city, it's moving me like a passion and it's mine.
How I love this city of mine. It never gets me down. City of mine. How I love this city of mine. It never gets me down. Me and my hometown, baby, we go way back. All the situations, circumstances, still we don't mind. Steady going on, I dance around the street lights. Hey, I know every street sign, hanging around the block. Like if you are my friend, then you are welcome any moment. Yeah. City of mine, how I love this city of mine. It never gets me down. City of mine, how I love this city of mine. It never gets me down.
Yurt! Aloha, everyone. Welcome to the showgram. I am your content creation coach, Doc Rock. Today, we got a fantastic show. Can't wait to dive in. Let me just race through the particulars for you really quickly. Look, if you're around here and you're brand new, like say it's your first time coming to one of the family showgrams, make sure you let us know in the comments, this type new. Let us know who you are and where you're from so that our family can welcome you, give you the hone hone. That's the Hawaii thing where we kiss you on both cheeks and put the lei. We also want to remind you that if you come back and you're watching this on the replay, if you have a question, you can still ask that question. You didn't miss out because I'll come back and I'll answer those questions if I can. If it's something that only Tom can answer, I'll bug him in his DM until he can answer you back, and then we'll let you know. So I just want to make sure that everyone's covered because that's just the Ohana style. Remember, Ohana means family. Okay, anyway, enough of my Doc Rock, Lilo, and Stitch maneuver. Gang! We're just going to just skip all of the rest of the craziness and the salutations. We'll save the mid-roll commercials to later. Grab a beverage, grab a pen, sit down, make yourself comfortable. Tell people in your house to shut up because you're not going to, well, maybe nicely. I don't know. I'm a drill sergeant, dude. I'm not nice. just make sure you're paying attention. Let's get ready. Let's do this. Without further ado, let me introduce you to the incredible Mr. Tom Buck. Ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning.
I thought he was going to start with a joke.
Oh, what do you get when you cross a snowman and a vampire?
Oh,
Frostbite. There we go. Anyway.
My favorite one of those jokes, and it's super stupid, but my favorite one of those jokes ever since I was a little kid, because it was the first time you got to almost swear, was what do you get when you cross a helicopter and a rhino?
What do you get?
Hell if I know.
Do you know why you can never see elephants hiding in trees?
Because they can't
Because
climb
they're
trees.
really good at it.
Oh.
Anyway.
Why? Okay, let's say what's up to the family real quick. We got Cova the technician, Mr. Camera Junkie is in the building. We got Humphreys, a.k.a. Keely Dunn. She is here. The Buck Doc Apocalypse. Oh, okay. Buck Doc Doc Buck Ageddon. All right, cool. Still workshopping those. Those are good. Mr. Rich Graham is here. Rob, thank you for reminding everybody about the Drop Squad class. We do have class today. We're going to continue our design conversations. If you are down and you want to know more about design, jump over to the Buy Me a Coffee page. The link will be on the screen all dang day. And then that way you can come to class and we'll be talking about design because Carly started it and she wanted to see stuff, whatever. Tom brought his own fans to the show. Hello, HR. Good to see you. Hey, Mr. Camera Junkie, get your own nickname. I know it's lazy, but that was mine. I secretly call you guys Buck Mirez. I don't know why.
That's fine. That works.
I just have random things that pop in my head. So
Otherwise, it'd be
say them.
Rambuck, and that's not as interesting.
Oh yeah, no, that was sounds like a porn star. Anyway, I'm prepared to count puns. Okay, for some reason, Dominic, I read that as I'm prepared for coconut puns.
Coconut.
I'm sorry, I can't read. Yes, we definitely should have a pun counter, a puncalypse.
What if there's none? What if there's just none puns and then?
It's impossible, Tom. You can't do it.
I think
Okay.
Physiologically, I would
You gotta
die.
go to Punaholics Anonymous. Okay, let's see. Kat is
It's
here.
a very unproductive support group.
Good to see you here. Kat, there's Doc. I'm in here. Oh, I know what I did. I put that there to remind myself, to remind you, to remind myself, to tell you about the Podcaster's Playbook. Well, we're going to talk about that most of today anyway. And then thank you, Rob, for posting Tom's channel. Anyone watching this on the replay, the chat replay exists. You can find Tom's channel there. And yeah, there's Sylvia Nixon. I'm super, super excited to have you here. Sylvia, that pillow, the Ecamm pillow, oh my God, that thing is awesome. I was just cruising there watching TV. I didn't even realize I was sitting there squeezing it, but I was sitting there watching TV holding the pillow, and I was like, bro, this is great. This is great. All right, so you got Mr. Abdusalam is here. Let's check. Aubrey is here. Cool. Where you going? Brother? Good to see you. Got my boy B is in the house. Sammy Super Chat finally made it. Alex is here. Another one of my Jamaican brother is Wagwan. What's happening? And there's the guy. Look, Tom.
Oh,
brings his own
boy.
fan. This guy right here is super incredible. Guys, make sure you go and check out the Jared's Pink episode. And then Vigets, what's up, George? All right, I think we got it. I think we covered the whole family. Josh Scott made it. And let's see. Vinny is here. Thank you, Vinny. Vinny joined the membership today, so we got us a new member. Appreciate you, Vinny. Wait, I need to have my... Hey, ladies! There we go. Okay, and there's Junior, another brother from Hawaii is here. Aloha, brother. Welcome. Aloha, kakahiaka. Sorry, I won't speak Hawaiian. Kenneth is here. Thank you, Kenneth. Hey, Mr. Rabbi David. I'm going to be doing some stuff with them pretty soon. Holy crap, Tom. You brought all the boys to the yard like a milkshake.
That's what I do.
It's Chris Buck and Devin Chambers. Joe Scriv made it. And I think roll call is done. We did it. We got everybody. Boom. Oh, God. This is funny. The Buck Rogers fish in the pan and Patrick showed up. Okay, cool. Here we go. I don't know why I said fish in the pan. It's flash in the pan.
Fish.
What the heck is the fish
You live on
in
an
the pan?
island. I don't know.
Okay, Tom, listen. Bruh, you have done, it's so crazy. I think our timing was the same. I think both of us went to the job and gave it the finger on the same day or 2 days within each other. So I remember I was so excited. I made a story on Instagram. Okay, guys, I sold them my stuff. I quit. I'm a full-time YouTuber, blah, 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 blah. And so I pop up the TV, kick back. I got nothing to do today. And then it's like, hey, I'm Tom. I quit being a teacher. It's my last day. And I was like, oh, whoa, this is super cool. All right, cool. So both of us are fun employed. So far as fun employed, that's what I call it, people. Deal with it. How do you like it?
Oh my God. It honestly makes me sad to think how much time I spent wishing my time away. You know, like you have your job and you're just like, how much longer till the weekend? How much longer till this break? How much longer till that? And that's a lot of time that you're just wishing away. And now it's like you just want to like be in every day constantly, and it is the best.
I'm sorry. I was trying not to laugh over here so I don't interrupt what you're saying. Rich kills it, gang. Rich killed it.
They do keep me employed, so yes, you are correct.
It's pun employed. Oh, I gotta say, the one thing that was funny is I remember like my first 2 days rushing around trying to get everything done in the morning so that I can rush off to the wood shop and get ready to, do my stuff. And I was like, wait, I actually grabbed keys, actually walked into the garage at one point, and then luckily you can cut through the garage and then catch the other elevator because we're in a twin tower building, and then ride down to the commercial area so I can come in the studio and do work. But it's a little trippy when I start thinking that. But gang, if you didn't notice something that Tom said, I want to add this to your little thing. If you have your Rocket book together, if you find yourself Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday thinking about Saturday, write a plan on how to get out of that job. That's just not, it's not good for you. Like staying there is not good for you. I don't know, healthcare, the money, like all of that stuff. Just figure it out. Like write a plan, start studying how you can get out of it. Cause yeah, that was the thing for me. I loved what I was doing. I got a kick out of it. I enjoyed it. But I would, about Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I'd be like, oh, am I done yet?
Yeah. You can't, there's so many days where you wake up and, you can like your job, you can get satisfaction from it, but you're just like, oh, I can't wait till today's over so I can get through all this. And it's like the sun isn't even up yet and you're wishing the day is done. That's a problem.
That is a huge problem. Okay, so what has been, let's say, the most challenging portion of the transition?
It's something that I wish wouldn't have been the case. It's probably a good learning thing, and it's what everybody always says, which is, you take something you love, you make it your job, and then it changes it. And it is, especially with things like YouTube and stuff, I've always paid probably too much attention to the numbers, but I could easily let things roll off my back if they weren't going in a good direction. And when that is tied to full-time income and the numbers don't go in a good direction, it has a different weight to it. And I think probably especially in April and May, I focused on that a little too much and needed to kind of like just step back and ignore it regardless.
Brother, okay, so listen, I know you've been in the game long enough to know that January through April is trash. Like I know you know that, but it's different when it confronts you, right? Like it's completely different. I knew that before I got into it, and again, we both decided to like step at the same time and slowly moonwalk ourselves out of the office. I think. What was your official last day?
March. Actually, oh my God, 3 months ago today.
Oh, really? The 19th?
Yeah.
Okay. So I closed the sale of my business on the 20th. But I officially like announced it to the world on the 30th. But I had officially sold all of my stuff on the 20th of last month. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah. Or not last month, of March. So, March. Yeah, then you understand. So, but knowing that, as much, and I'm the coach, dude, I tell people, don't pay attention to the vanity metrics. Don't pay attention to the vanity metrics. But we had two things that bumped up against the wall at the same time. One, reality. Okay, look, I'm actually in it. Right? When I used to practice jumping out of planes on the ground, the 250-foot tower, all of that, I'm all gung-ho, I'm all chill. I'm like, yeah, go Army, yeah. The minute you're in the sky and the door is open, when you first stand in that door and you look down, you go, oh, crap, why did I do this? Mama said go to school. I could have stayed home and worked at McDonald's. And the guy's yelling at you, jump, damn it. And it's like, you jump out. So I get it.
Yeah.
That's funny. I'm just checking because Alicio came and we were talking stink about you, Alicio. So I'm glad that you're here. No, I'm just joking. Happy to see you, brother. And Laura's here. Hey, Laura. Good to see you.
Yay.
Okay. Here we go. Let me check this box because Cap Movahill comes with the question for both of you. When do you start to consider yourself a YouTuber? I have a fantastic answer for that. Why, just go, Tom. You're first.
I think our answer is probably the same. I would say when you make YouTube videos, like
Bam.
consistently.
Bam. Okay. See, Tom, this is why we're friends. That is my answer. The minute that you post videos, okay, the first video, you just uploaded some crap. The minute you post the second one, you're a YouTuber.
There we go.
Right?
Yeah. Doesn't matter about sub count.
Yeah,
counts.
none of that stuff matters.
No.
None of that stuff matters. Okay, Patrick says, as someone who just passed 300 subs on my tech channel, I'm looking at the numbers way too much. Yes, please stop. Here's why. It is. I remember as a hurdler, right, when I was in track, I would just watch the guys who could do the really, really low drags, right? We would, no better word for it, we would just call them gnat scrapers. That's not what we called it, but I'll adjust it. The guys that could gnat scrape, they were always the fastest because as you go higher over the hurdle, you lose a little bit of momentum, and when you come down, your angularity stops your forward progress. It's just a thing. So I remember watching all these guys, when they're seniors, and I'm in the 9th grade, I'm just getting in track, and I was like, man, I can't do that. Like, why are these guys so much faster than me, whatever? And the best advice my coach ever had is like, you're blind to them. Those dudes are of no concern to you. Don't look at them. Don't pay any attention. I want you to see the word gill in the middle of not the hurdle in front of you, but the hurdle 3 hurdles down. So you need to be thinking about getting low to the 3rd hurdle in front of you. And I was like, well, what happens when you get to the end? And it goes, they're still there. You just keep going until you break the tape. Just learn to pay them no mind. And when I stopped looking at other runners, I got faster. Because believe it or not, your brain won't let you run as fast with your head sideways because your brain is trying to protect you from eating it. You see those videos where people just eat it? Your brain doesn't want you to eat it. So your brain, if you pay attention and you just look forward and you just go, you'll be fine. But when your brain starts looking for safety measures, you will inevitably slow down. So in a way, looking at the numbers will actually cause you to slow down.
Yeah,
And
especially if you start comparing, because that will just kill everything. Because then you are looking sideways and you're thinking, but they're doing this, do I need to? And you're kind of leaning in all these directions instead of just going.
Tyler, yes, no, honestly not. So I don't even know a better way I'll let you take this one first while I formulate my statement so it doesn't sound mean because I'm the drill sergeant. So being with Tom today is going to make me nicer.
Yeah, sure. I don't know if I'm going to fail at that job. I think the numbers are important. Like, I check the numbers admittedly too much. They do play into something, but like how important, your goalpost is always going to move. There was Patrick who just passed 300 subscribers. That's huge. Like, when you just started your channel, I bet the idea of getting 100 seemed impossible. And then you got 100 and 300 probably seemed impossible. And now you're at 300, 1,000 probably does. You're going to get to 1,000 and think, oh, I'll never get 5 or 10, get to 10, never get 20. The goalpost will always move. I remember thinking if I could get 1,000 subscribers, I probably would never look at my numbers again. Like, I would be done and I would just be satisfied. That's not what happened at all. But what I learned with that was, okay, there's never going to be that point of like, I did it, I am done. And so knowing that is very important because you want, if you post a bunch of videos and stuff and all your numbers tank and go down, that does tell you something. But if things are generally moving in a positive direction, then, you just do your thing. I've never met anyone in real life who actually holds any judgment over like how many subscribers do you have, how many views do you get. I've never even honestly worked with brands that are worth working with that care about that stuff either. They care about the person, the audience, that you could have a couple hundred, couple thousand, whatever. There's so much more than just the numbers that pop up that play into everything. And I know it's cliche advice, and I know I don't always follow it myself, but it is true.
Well, so here's the good part about doing this. And gang, this is why I tell my people who come to class, the Drop Squad represent, I appreciate them because they teach me. They remind me to stay on my grind. They remind me to stay focused on the things that I say. So even when I start to, for lack of a better word, backslide against my own knowledge, they will slap you real. Keely especially will slap you real quick and be like, no, you don't get away with that. You got to come back. So no, Tyler, the numbers aren't important. Obviously, the only important numbers to me are all of you guys that are in the chat right there. Like, you guys are my algorithm. I say this every day to people. I mean, like, what about the algorithm? My algorithm is named Tyler and Rabbi David and Victor and Heather and Alicio. That's my algorithm. Hey, Rafi, good to see you here, brother. So to me, that's the most important. Speaking of Rabbi David, how often should you upload or go live each week? I'm going to give you the answer that everyone hates. As much as you need to, and no more than that. That sounds
That's
super
the perfect
jacked
answer.
up, but that's the
It's like,
answer.
how long should a YouTube video be? As long as it needs to be.
And not longer. So it's going to take you some time to find that. I personally go live on this channel twice a week. I upload a video to this channel once a week. But I go live every day except Sunday. Is that crazy?
That's crazy.
But
That is crazy.
I go live every day except Sunday. And then there's, I get people that says, man, I wish I can be as good as you or whatever. I go live every day. Maybe not to your audience, maybe to a private Facebook group, maybe just to your wall, maybe to your, what's this thing called? Instagram story. Like, go live to your Instagram story for like 3 minutes a day, every day, your morning ritual, whatever. You will get extremely comfortable talking to the camera. There is no way to read comfort into camera at all. It's impossible. I made you a gold-plated book, How to Be Comfortable on Camera. And I had the top actors in the world read it, sign it, autograph it, and make a personal statement to you. That doesn't make you better on camera. The only way to get better
It would also
on
be a
camera,
really heavy book.
it would be an extremely heavy book and bendable would be to be on camera. So yes, let's see. How far in advance do you plan your content, Tom? I can tell you're a planner.
Heather's trying to get all my secrets. I've been keeping them from her. Let's see, planning content. That's interesting. I don't plan it. Okay. I think what Heather's getting at is that for the past couple years, so to go back to the past comment of how often do you upload, I think Doc is 100% right, as much as you need to. I would also add, like, that is sustainable, because I've seen so many people go like, I'm going to go live every day. I'm going to upload every day. I'm going to do 5 videos a week. And they do it for like 2 weeks, and then they die, and you don't hear from them again for like 4 months. That's not effective. So whatever you can do that you can just keep chipping away at, even if it's, once a week or whatever it might be that fits in with your life. And what I found out is a couple years ago now, trying to balance work and YouTube was really tough. So I was teaching, it was summer break, I had a little extra time, and I made, more videos than I would normally make, and then I scheduled them out. So instead of just like making a video and posting it, I made a video and then scheduled it out. So I had like 3 or 4 weeks, because I do once a week, 3 or 4 weeks in advance. And then I just kind of kept that up ever since. And that was about 2 years ago. And that changed everything, because if something went wrong, like if I got sick, if I got really busy, I could actually not make a video in a week and the channel would keep going. And obviously it doesn't work with live streams. You can't like fake a live stream, but it worked with videos. It really made things sustainable for me. And then you can kind of see your content. You've got a couple videos there. You might shift the order, like you put out a video and it does really well or it does poorly. That might change the one that you put out after that. That was a complete game changer for me. And I've told people about this, and I've had people literally laugh in my face about it. Like literally they L'd out L at me because they were like, I'll never schedule things. I just post things right away. And I'm like, okay, but you're also talking to me about feeling burnt out and exhausted and stressed. And I'm telling you something that can absolutely help. So anyway, that's what I do. And then I just, I have a running list of ideas that are kind of broken into different categories like audio, streaming, podcasting, and then just sort of pick whatever I want to do when it's time to make a video. It's not a lot of strategy.
Okay, so honestly, gang, this is, we talked about last week the mid-year reset. My mid-year reset is trying to get better at scheduling and planning content. I just don't. I just go because that's me. I'm a doer. So I plan certain things, but I don't plan my content like that. I'm just a doer. Like, I got it. Let's do it. It's weird. But I'm with Tom. I want to actually have things in the can should something comes up. And I just haven't done that. But I'm also a person, I don't use the word stress. I'm nothing against you people that use that word. I just don't use that word. I don't like that word because I have a problem with language. And this came up when, hey, Jake, this came up when Heather and I were talking when she was on the show. Yes, and I do my husband and wife teams back to back with an extra guest in the middle. So anybody who's planning, no, I'm joking.
That is strategy.
I don't like the words that make other people feel like they can't do it. And that's just because of my upbringing. I'm a biracial black kid that grew up in the 70s and 80s. So I was told all kinds of things that doesn't account to me. So yeah, I just don't like words that I think causes people to limit themselves. Doesn't mean they're bad. And if you need to use that word to motivate yourself, knock yourself out. But I will say a lot of people use the word stress as an excuse not to do stuff. If you say that while you're doing stuff, water off a frog's back, you can use it all you want. But if you say it as an excuse not to do something, I'm probably going to kick you in the wedding vegetables because it's not cool, right? So what I'll say to you, I heard 3 people say recently, and it's something that I deeply feel. If you're keeping your story to yourself out of your personal comfort, out of you being lazy, out of you being scared or intimidated, you're being selfish because someone needs to hear your story, your exact story. Someone needs to hear it, and you'll motivate them, and you'll save somebody else. And right now, us making other people happy is probably our number one thing once we gain our own happiness, right? We have to share that love because the world is so selfish right now. So that's me.
Yeah. And speaking of stress, I can't stress enough how important it is to do what you just said because it also ties into regret. And if you're sitting there thinking,
just put that, did you say I can't stress enough? Did you freaking time? One, write it down. Okay.
All right. I was feeling stress about pulling that off. Okay. But if you feel like you're going to regret something, you can't fix regret. And so if you're thinking like, I want to make something, I want to do this, but I don't want to put it out there because of 1,000 different excuses, time will pass and then you won't, like the time will pass to do that. And you'll either look back and be like, well, I could have been years ahead now, or I won't be able to do it for whatever reason. Like that's why there's a drum set sitting behind me. Which takes up way too much space in this room.
But it looks so dope when you're set.
I know, that's why I can't get rid of it. I mean, I play it all the time, which is also, but I wanted to play the drums from the time I was 10 years old, and then we, lived in apartments, and it wasn't practical. And then I bought this house when I was about to turn 30, and I was like, first thing is I want a drum set, and of course they're expensive. And I was like, oh, maybe I shouldn't. And then I was thinking, okay, by the time I'm 35, I could be 5 years into playing the drums. By the time I'm 40, I could be 10 years into playing the drums. And then I thought, like, well, that's a really physical thing. Like, if you hurt yourself, you can't do it anymore. And then literally I would just never be able to do it, and I would regret that. So it was like, and now I've been playing the drums for like 6 years or something. So, like, that's a weird tangent that I know, like, I don't mean to beat that analogy to death, but there we go. There. But it was one of those things where it's like you just can't fix regret.
Played it?
What's that?
Did you download that sample or did you play it?
That's the one that just comes with the Roadcaster.
I know. I was just being a jerk. Okay, but my buddy Coach is here, so since Coach is here, I have to do this for everyone in the chat.
You are awesome. You are amazing. You are the best. And remember, you have greatness inside of you. You are awesome.
That is Coach. Thank you, Coach, for that sample. I love that sample. I listen to it all the time because
I needed that today.
It's helpful. It's helpful. Okay, let me just run down the list, make sure we got everybody. That was super funny. Louis had something hilarious to say. That's from my favorite author, Unknown. He writes the best stuff.
Yeah, that guy is prolific.
That cracked me up, bro. That was super funny. So I need to do another brainstorming session for content. Guys, I have an idea for you. I've been thinking about this. Feel free at any time to pop up in the LGL group and just open up and let's just brainstorm. Because whoever comes to join you can brainstorm together. And thanks to Ecamm, we can get 5 or 6 of us to brainstorm at one time. And just feel free to open up and brainstorm in there, because I find when I had my co-working space, us brainstorming together was dope. Like, I would get stuck and I would roll out the whiteboard and I was like, all right, gang, everybody gather around, grab a Red Bull or a beer out the fridge, sit down, let's go. And so my brainstorming style is I don't keep notes on 3x5. I'm not 3x5s, on Post-its. I don't keep notes on Post-its because they fall down and you never find them and you miss something very important. That's David Allen. Yeah, he was the one that said that. So what I do is I brainstorm in the fattest marker possible, like a Sharpie, possible is code. You write with a Sharpie because you can't get too deep. Woo-sa. You can't get too detailed when you write with a Sharpie. It forces you to think large, and then we'll just put Post-it notes and then just rip and build like a mind map, so to speak, and then take a picture of it and then start putting it into a system. So that's what I normally do when I brainstorm, and it's really good to brainstorm with others, especially people that don't even do what you do, because they'll bring up stuff that you don't know. How do you brainstorm, Mr. Buck?
I have been using the Notes app a lot, which I used to, like, I have a big whiteboard on my wall over here that's sometimes fun to just throw stuff at. Sometimes I'll get paper, but the Notes app is really helpful for me, like just the free basic one that comes with like the iPhone, because it syncs to phone, iPad, everything. And so I can have a thought, put it on my phone, be at the computer, pick it up. Like, it eliminates that, and I don't lose it because I'll put a note in a notebook or something, and then I won't have that notebook with me. So that's a part of, like, that's it. But you and I were talking before the show about cycling and riding bikes, and that, for me, like that exercise where your body's physically active but your brain is then like open to think about stuff. I can write entire videos, I can outline podcast seasons, whatever, doing that. And then I use the just the voice to text feature on the phone. So you come to like a break on the bike, and then you're like, I came up with an idea for an intro to a video, and then you just say it real quick. It butchers all the wordplay, of course, because it doesn't know what I'm talking about. And then I go back later and fix that. So just like when you have those ideas, finding a way to get it out of your brain and into something that you can go later is super important. And, everybody has their different thing. Like, some people are super visual, some people are super organized, but just getting it out of your brain and onto something that's going to be easy to reference later on is like the biggest struggle and the most important thing, I think.
Yes, it's true. So and you're right. Some people are visual, some people are auditory, some people are kinetic, and some people are a combination of the above. That's your NLP game. But yes, 100% true. And I definitely find the cool thing about riding, which is why, like, I'm going to take myself back to physical therapy so that I can get my knee straight, so I can get back on my cycle, because I'm going to the East Coast in September, and to find out the twins ride. The twins do like 30 miles together on Saturdays. So somebody brought up in a meeting we had, Mr. Riley, I don't know if he's here today, bought about getting Ecamm jerseys. So we're going to get.
That would be cool.
Yo, man. I'm actually proud of my writing picture. So I want to get back into writing, and yeah, it is so much fun. I feel like it's almost like flight. You know what I mean? Look, gang, if you guys want to see riding doc, this is little riding doc.
Dang.
Like, yo, I love riding. That is like.
That's a guy who is faster than me.
Yeah. What kind of bike do you have? Not related.
I have a Specialized Allay.
Oh, cool. I'm a Trek dude, but yeah,
I had a Trek and I loved it, but then
I started out on
Specialized came out with the
Specialized.
blue, and
Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, Trek is into their freaking matte black everything right now. I was like, come on, Trek, let's get some color popping again. Yes, but I had a Specialized rock hopper. That was my original, and then after I blew up my knee the first time, mountain biking was out, so I had to just do road biking. The first one was I think they called them trees. Trees and bikes don't like each other. Just
yeah,
throw that
definitely
out there.
nature's enemies.
Live streaming. I'm assuming live streaming my podcast on YouTube and then edit down the audio to try to remove the YouTube specific stuff. Should I be more intentional and pause for more podcast audio moment? That is a dope question, especially because we have both Tom and Jared here. He went to Jared. So, Mr. Buck, how do you answer that question? That's actually a fantastic question, Roy.
That's a good one. And I'm going to give another answer that's probably very unsatisfying and say it depends on your audience because, like if Jared's still here, he's way more pro at editing podcasts than I am because I'm
Jared
just
is
like,
the bomb.
I usually, for the most part, unless it's an interview or something, don't edit it. But cutting out, YouTube related stuff, I definitely have found that sometimes there's things I'll be listening to a podcast that was a YouTube live stream and there's a few minutes where like nothing is really happening or it's not interesting to listen to. Cutting out that stuff is cool. But otherwise, if your stream is interesting to listen to or the video version of your podcast is interesting, the audio should be interesting too. So I wouldn't stress out. I have found that when you do dive into editing your podcast, you might go in thinking like, I'm just going to cut out this part and that part. And then 4 hours later, it's like chopped up into all these like a million little splices because you've removed every filler word. You've removed it's just like it's easy to get stuck down that rabbit hole. And I don't know that the juice is worth the squeeze. I think that it was probably pretty good to begin with.
I don't know if the juice is worth the squeeze. Yo, I love that. Tom, okay.
I stole that.
Your dumb jokes are cool. That was dope.
I stole that from Riffs, Beards, and Gear. He's a guitar channel, and he's an awesome dude.
Good. I like that. I don't know if the juice
He
is
told me
worth
that.
the
I was
squeeze.
asking about channel memberships, and he was like, juice not worth the squeeze. And I was like, I'm going to take that. That's so
Okay,
good.
no, okay. Channel memberships right here. I got him, but I won't put them on because I have my BMAC. And I already created enough of kerfuffle for my people. Sorry, gang. When I switched from Patreon to BMAC. I still have some Patreon people there that are hanging on, and I, try to stay with them. BMAC's just a smoother process. Set it up, stop goofing off, set it up right away. It's nothing to set up. It takes you seconds. And yeah, just do it, gang. It is so helpful. It is such a game changer. And the support of my members, new members like Vinny, who signed up today, people that have been there from day one, your Aubreys, your Cats, Kevin, like all my members, you guys allow me to focus on my content without having to worry about what YouTube algorithm thinks, which is why I say you guys are my algorithm. So BMAC to me is the way to go. Now, I will never not, run the super chat thing because YouTube still needs to make their cut. So cool. If you do me a super chat, they take their cut, whatever. I don't care. I hate when people say, oh, but YouTube takes 30%. Yeah, you're also swimming in their house, player. Like come on, man. Like they got to stay functional and it costs a lot. You are mad right now because your Mac's running out of hard drive space. So you run down to the buy more and you just want to buy a 1 terabyte SSD and it's $200 to $250. Right? So you just posted a 2 gig video to YouTube, or you just did a 3-hour live stream, which is like 9 gigs to YouTube, and YouTube didn't charge you. And you're mad at them for taking their 30% cut or putting ads on your stream when you're not monetized. I'm like, roll your own then. Go ahead, knock yourself out. Talk to Patrick, roll your own, and you'll soon see why. Let them have their thing. But creators, definitely start your BMAC right away. And even if all you do is get your family members who would have probably loaned you $10 anyway, even if you put them on, it triggers the thought in you to keep going. So I think that's one of the best parts. Let me snag a referral link for Buy Me a Coffee. I do have it in the chat. Of course, you can click on mine up there. But yes, it is definitely a winner chicken dinner. Now, somebody had it.
Yeah.
Oh, Keith is over here talking about his El Mondas. And Kat said, yes, the bike jerseys would be dope. Yo, dude, my matte black bike is dope. But it has been the target of getting stolen like 3 times. And I caught the guys twice. One guy actually got away with it, but the dummy just went across the street to the park where the homeless people cruise and decided to take a nap. While he was taking a nap, my bike.
That's the worst getaway I've ever heard.
No, dude. And so I had, the standard kryptonite chain. I have an A-bus now. If you want to not get your bike stolen, get an A-bus lock. You can't cut those. But he changed it to like the gigantic DMX Pitbull chain, and then he chained that to the Safeway cart. And so he's taking a nap in the park with my bike connected to the Safeway cart. And I'll be honest, my initial reaction was to go over there and step on his neck. But my friend picked me up right before the foot landed on the neck and was like, dude, the cop is right over there. Go talk to the cop. And I was like, where I'm from, we don't talk to cops. And he goes, yeah, but this is Hawaii, and I don't want to bail you out. So luckily, my friend Derek grabbed me. My feet was dangling in the air. Lucky Derek's 6'4". I'm only like 6. So he just grabbed me. And I was like, damn it, you better wake your ass up. And then, anyway, so the cop made the guy, he see the registration, disconnect, gave me my bike. And then all was good. So don't buy kryptonite locks. Number one, they suck. And then, yeah. So let's get back to YouTube. I don't know why we got stuck on bikes, but my community, it's fun. I think they're blaming you for sneaking a preach. Oh, I know what I was going to say to Roy. Me personally, I like to leave a little bit of the YouTube stuff in there, and I'll tell you why. I don't like to take it all out because it breaks the continuity. And the reason why I like to leave a little bit of the YouTube stuff in there is hopefully you can use it as a method to tell people like, hey, you kind of don't want to miss out on the live portion. Make sure you come to the live portion. We do it live this day, this day, this day. You can be part of the community. You can join up. You can interact, so forth, so on, etc. And where I learned that from is on Twit with Leo. Because we're live on Tuesday, the show rolls out on Wednesday, and many people watch the live because in that way they'll get caught on the IRC, and we'll mention them in the show, things like that, and people really like that interaction. So, yeah. So he said it breaks up. Jared says it breaks up the flow, so don't stress out too much. Yeah, in a way, the more you cut out, the worse are you. Yeah, Jared, I agree with you. So again, I like to leave it there because I think it reminds people to sort of like, want to show up for the live part, which could be actually better for both you and them, because if they have a question that you can answer live, you're doing them a bigger favor. So, you know what I mean? Now you guys are peddling. You're not Tom. Leave that alone, Rich.
Pedaling back here. We gotta shift gears and cycle back to YouTube stuff.
All right, Rich, we need to brainstorm some puns with Tom. I got it. I knew what you meant.
Some pins with points.
I have tiles in my seat now, Keith. I did the same thing, but I did just get my 4-pack air tags. And so, yes, one of my air tags is going underneath the seat in that little part, and I hot glue that sucker on. Okay, thank you, Mitch. Michael. Why do I always want to call Michael Mitch every week? I say it every single week. Michael, welcome to the show, Graham. Here you go. So I guess let's talk about the Podcaster's Playbook a little bit.
Sure, if we have to.
What do you mean if we have to, bro? That's what you're here for. I want to know. Number one, I'm so glad you finally did it.
Yeah, me
you
too.
were like, I remember the conversation with Heather. Heather's a dope therapist, bro. You know how much money you save by marrying her instead of paying the doctor? You can save 15% on your medical insurance by marrying a psychotherapist. Yeah, I remember the conversation when you guys were like planning it out and thinking and some of the emotion that you were going through. But for those who missed it, if it's not too irritating to you, could you talk about that?
No, yeah. So it was so weird because I had been a teacher for 11 years and like a school teacher, and then also doing YouTube for a number of years where some of the videos try to teach people how to do stuff. So I was pretty confident that I could explain things well. But there was something about the world of online courses that was just so foreign and intimidating because, that is an established world that I had no experience in, and there's so much. You can do this different strategy. You can do things this way. This is how you launch it. This is how you do this. You put a person into a funnel, and then they go over there and a thing. And that was just like really overwhelming. So it was a lot of like Heather being patient as I just sort of figured it out and tried to like so bringing it back to bikes, right? When I first got my bike, I started like road cycling like about 10 years ago. And the first thing that I said was like, I'm not going to wear the tight clothes. Like, I'm not doing that.
I said that too.
And yeah. And then it was very quickly, I was like, oh, dang, you know, I'm going on some rides. This cotton t-shirt is super uncomfortable to ride in and it gets real sweaty and weird. So I guess I do need a jersey. Oh, wow. Like it's hard to go on long rides because the seat's uncomfortable. Those bike shorts really help. Look, the shoes, like eventually I realized every piece of kit plays a purpose and it actually made things better. And the course kind of reminded me of that. Not in every way, but there were so many things where I was like, no, I don't want to do that. I'll just make the course and put it for sale and then it's done. But then kind of learning the process of like, well, this is why you would want to have an email list. This is why you would want to have at least a pretty decent sales page. This, you know, all that sort of stuff. Like I kind of had to learn like, yeah, people weren't just saying it for no reason. Like you're putting in time and effort into this course and you should then do it the service of, you know, letting it be as successful as possible. And, you know, that was really tough. But eventually there was kind of a good balance of taking in that advice and then just also doing it my way, because like there's certain stuff where it's like you have to get on and do these webinars this day and that thing. And it's like, I don't want to, like, that's not something I would do. So it's going to feel super weird. Like people would just see through it if it's not authentic. So it's like, I'll take the intention of the advice, put my own thing to it, and then do it that way. And I think that's such an important thing to do when you're putting stuff out online is like, look at what the, you know, tried and true methods or whatever are, but then filter it through your way of doing things, because the people who like you they want your way. They don't want what they've seen everywhere else. And anyway, I think I went to a place, but that's kind of the basics of it.
No, but see, you just said the most important thing, and this is what we try to tell everyone. Like, your people want to see you. Like, it's something about the way you speak to them. You adjust to them. And actually, we spoke about this before the show, because it's funny how someone who you're really close with might not hear the way you say something, and someone else will say identically what you said. Like, not even skip a beat. I'm talking like you can line the tracks up together in audio program and they will be chorused. But yet the person gets it when the other person says it, because we do have a certain bias sometimes against the people that we're the closest to, or we just can't hear them, or we're too much in our own thing at the moment. Sometimes it's just timing. Sometimes it's timing. It's nothing personal. Don't take it personal. Monica, don't take it personal. Sorry. But since you said, I had to do a pun, since you said you was going to do it with intent, let me remind you about the intent and purpose t-shirts, because it is very important that you find these things and you do it with intent, and you do things that drive your purpose. That is me explaining in a quick nutshell Ikigai, and that's the intent and purpose. So yes, get your intent and purpose merch at docrock.live/merch or PrestonSoul/DocRock. And that's PRESS.
That is intense.
SOW. That was intense. Yes. So I think he said, Keith said that you're a preacher. He's convinced Joel Osteen ain't got nothing on you.
He's got bigger, wider teeth.
Oh, thank you. This is so true, Keith. And in a way, it still aligns with content. Recycling actually has a lot to do with content creation, because you're kind of out there on your own. It can be extremely dangerous if you're not aware, if you're not paying attention, if you're not doing, all the things you should do. But if you follow some of the basic rules, it makes sense. Also, if you use the tools for what they're meant to be for, you'll write better. And like the part about the bib shorts, I swore I would never wear those things. It just seemed weird. And then you get one like seat rash chafe type action, and I was like, bruh, I can't ride today. My jacked. Like, I can't ride. This is not for real. I'm walking around doing this weird kind of walk, and people are looking at me like, yo, this dude got problems. So I go to the bike store, and I asked my boy Mitch, and I was like, Mitch, bruh, I got pains in places I didn't know you're supposed to get pains. And he's like, yeah, you kind of need bib and you need the chafing cream. And I was like, chafing cream? And I swear to you, he handed me a bottle, and I can show you on the internet. He handed me a bottle, and it literally is called These Nuts.
We have gone to a place.
I'm serious. I'm not even joking. It is literally called These Nuts. And so I got it, and then I did exactly follow the instructions, what he said, and I was like, okay, this actually works, and it's quite amazing. And I'm not joking. See, I just want to let you guys know I am not kidding.
DZ. Oh my gosh.
It's These Nuts. And the funny thing is the shape of the bike seat is kind of hilarious. You know, like I get it. But the minute you get you some chamois cream and you don't have those problems anymore, yeah, life is good in the hood. So you do have to pay attention. So yes, it's a thing.
Yes, my fastest ride at one point was the first ride I did in my bike shorts, because I was so, not unlike when you're creating content out in public alone and you feel goofy and weird, I was so embarrassed to be seen that I just didn't stop and just kept riding, and I beat all my previous times because I was like, just a blur. I didn't want anyone to see.
Oh, you gotta run. You try to get out of there. Yeah, I think that's true too. When I was first got my whole kit, I got my shorts on. I have my specialized shoes with the clips, like SPD clips. So I'm in. I think I didn't want anybody that I know to see me, so I was hauling ass. I was trying to get back in the house before anybody sees it. Hey, Doc, burr, burr. And people in this town know me. You know what I mean? I've been on radio and TV here for over 2 decades, so actually almost 3 decades. Like people know me, so I was like, hope nobody recognizes me. So I got the Oakley glasses, got the big helmet on. You know, I'm trying to hide everything. Got my gloves. I'm like, quick, let's go.
Disguise.
Super funny. It's super funny. Okay, so I guess the next question is something that I think a lot of people get stuck in. And what was it for you that told you, like, I really want to do this and I love doing this? And, like, what was the trigger? What was the catalyst to becoming Tom Buck?
Oh boy, God!
Don't say your mom. And dad. We got that part.
I mean, oh boy. So I could give you, like, the quick answer would be regret. You know, that whole thing about that I talked about, regret. Like, I wanted to start a YouTube channel in 2012, and I didn't until 2017. Like, why? You just go and click create account. Now, what I can say though, that's probably the more honest answer, is that I had been previously in a relationship with a partner that wasn't the same dynamic, let's just say. And when you're surrounded with people who aren't, you know, they're not the people who are supporting you, not the best people that you should be surrounding yourself with, it's very hard to grow in those situations. And when that ended, it's crazy, because when those things end, you feel, you know, like, oh my God, what do I, like, my whole life is changed, and what do I do? But then for me, immediately everything started getting better. And I was like, well, this is interesting. And it was like crazy, because it was just all of these things that I had put off for years of, like, I wish I could do this. I want to do this. Couldn't I do that? And I felt like either someone wouldn't let me, or someone would criticize me or kind of hold me down. I was like, there's no one to do that. I can just do whatever I want to do anytime that I want. And then it was just like, I just sort of started doing that, and everything, it was crazy, because then you just put yourself in with people that I never thought I could ever connect with, not just because they're in different places, but people who I would have thought, like, they're way too cool for, like, me to talk to or anything. And now it's just, you're drawing in the right people. Being surrounded by the right people was an entirely different feeling for me. And once you experience that, it's almost like, you know, we talked about leaving jobs to be fun employed. And once you kind of experience that, you'll protect it and you won't go back to the old way. This was sort of that, where it was like, oh, this is me actually being able to do my own life on my terms. I'm not going to let any anything take that away, and I'm just going to keep protecting that and exploring that. And then it brings the right people to you, and that's where it's like, I'm going to go onto YouTube. I'm going to try to start a channel. I'm going to do this. I'm going to look up boosted boards. Hey, look at this person who's reviewing a boosted board. I should marry them. And like 4 years later. So that's kind of like the long version, but it's you know, what you surround yourself with really has an impact on you. And it's very easy to say, like, don't listen to what other people say. Don't, but it's hard. It's hard to like steel yourself to that. If every time you bring up an idea, hey, I want to do this, you're just told that it's stupid, or you're told that you can't do it. You know, those limiting things that we talked about earlier. And if you're able to then just step away from that, you can look and go like, why was I even, they have no power here. Like, why was I giving anyone else that power? But you can't see it when you're in it sometimes. And if you're not, and you can remove yourself and then you can just do things your way, it's going to put you like, you're going to be so much more happy and fulfilled as a person, and then you're going to naturally then bring in the right kind of people. There's nobody in my life right now who, if I shared an idea or a goal or a fear, they would criticize me. Like, there might be people who would give tough love or whatever, but like every person in my life has my best interest. Like, that's what they want, and that's the same way I feel for them. And that foundation is then what lets you do other things. That's a really weird long answer.
No,
but anyway,
dude, it's perfect. Okay, so couple things. First of all, your and Heather's ability to come and be vulnerable is, to me, what makes you dope. Okay, because a lot of people would be afraid of that, and I have to say that being vulnerable, it's not easy. You have to, you know, it's not easy. Get it? It's not easy. It's not easy.
This is my button.
Okay. No, being vulnerable is definitely not easy. And putting yourself out there, it requires a certain, you know, bottle of D's nuts. Like, you gotta actually go out there and do it. Like, it's a hard thing to do. I know, because I wear it on my sleeve all the time. My people make fun of me, and I just tell them, yeah, after 50 you start crying a lot, so deal with it. But yeah, I think it's very important that you come and you do that. I also think it's very important, and I tell my people all the time, get your buy-in from your family. Like, you really just have to try to get your buy-in from your family. And if they don't, you're going to have a struggle, but you got to just figure out how you're going to mitigate it. And it's funny, because when you start racking up dope numbers and dope content, and you're making a living, and you're able to add a little bit more juice to the party, or, you know, squeeze that juice, whatever you said, you add a little
the
bit
juice is
more.
worth the squeeze.
Yeah, when the juice becomes worth the squeeze, then they're going to be, you know, be questions like, how'd you do it? You know, can you help me do this? And can you help me do that? So it's typical. It's typical. Like, yeah, it just happened. So there's what it is. One thing, we got a couple of ex-teachers in here, and I got to say big ups to John. John came here all the way from India to listen to us. So, you know, you have definitely inspired lots of people, and I think when you're in your comments kind of that's your Tinkerbell juice, right? You know that you're doing good. Mitchell says, what about a podcast and YouTube channel with controversial adversarial topics, kind of a forum debate? Poison, instant goal, potentially canceling any actual threats. You know, Mitchell, that's a tough one for me, because okay, I'll say controversial things all the time, but I say controversial things in the point of trying to make an individual person better, right?
Right.
I try not to get into vitriolic repertoire, just due to the fact we have enough of that. In my personal opinion, again, you do not have to listen to me. Take everything I say with a grain of salt. But I think we have enough of that in the world. So I believe that I was put here to put positivity into the world. So as much as I love having those conversations with my friends, and I love showing them that they're dumb, but I would never put that out public facing. It was a joke. I never put that out public facing, because I think there's just a lot of it out here. We just don't need any more of it. And again, you don't have to listen to me. And I know you're cool, so I know you understand what I'm saying. You know, we've been around that block too much. I almost try to walk away from it. So I was going to not ask you something. I was going to tell you something that I promised I would tell you while you're here, because I almost was yelling at you through my TV when you were having your last members thing, and I won't divulge too much of it because it's for the members, but I get upset when people bug you in your comments and they get to you because you're way too dope for them. And
Yeah, that's true.
I know it's true, and I'm glad that you can say that because no one would expect you to say that, so that's dope. It's like, no, Tom's too nice. He would never say that. But no, seriously, bro, you have to walk in your light. You know, this is why I make my people stare at themselves in the mirror and physically say out loud, not just whisper in your head. You have to say, I am a creator. Look, fancy shirt. By the way, thank you for rocking the shirt. We never saw you in a t-shirt, and then you pop up on the
Oh,
screen.
yeah. That's a great shirt. Heather likes me in earth tones. So just
So, yeah, don't let that stuff get to you, Tom. Man, that
know.
actually bothered me. I wanted to go find the person who said it and then go send them a DM and be like, look, don't mess with this man. This man is an angel sent from above to help people do what they have to do. And because you're jealous that somebody sent them something, right? I mean, the ethics statement is there. It's written. You've talked about it ad nauseum.
Oh, my God.
Anybody who would say that does not know you, and so therefore you don't owe them. Wait, I got a new one. I got the Roadcaster update. You don't owe them anything, bro.
Thank you for that reminder. I have two things to say to that, which is,
If you make an
Yes.
excuse, you know I would come over there to
No, there's no
California
there's
and
no
kill
excuse.
You. Okay.
You're 100% right. Like, you really do
Your
just
wife
need
is
to
yelling at me to yell at you.
You just need to get rid of that stuff. And what was I going to say? There was something about it. Oh, but to go back to comments and things, we talked about numbers, like things have been slowing down for whatever reason. But what I've been able to do is go, okay, that means it's easier to keep up with comments. So instead of just like not replying to some or skipping or whatever, like now I can actually take the time to sit there and like give beefier answers to people, which is really cool. And then doing that really has emphasized like the vast majority of stuff that people post is nice, even if it's just a thank you, great video, whatever. And then some people will ask questions and other people will say stuff like, hey, I was able to start my thing because of this thing that you showed. And it's like, wow, this is unbelievable. And then Heather has helped me to remember, like, you should screenshot those things so that you can remember that kind of stuff, because it's so easy for it to just disappear. And the second thing is, I'm just going to say this here because I feel that it is safe. I would never do this, but the thing that makes me laugh is when I get those comments, you know, those ones, there's a part of me that wants to, because no one would ever expect it, to just write F off, period, and just post it.
Done.
Because nobody would ever expect it.
Yes.
I would love that.
That would be the best, honestly. Oh, Tom, that felt good. Okay. No, because I was I'm in my office. I'm polishing up things. I'm getting ready. Setting up for something. And then I'm listening to the members only thing. And you got to that part. And I'm like, Tom, I was like, I can't chat. I can't call him. I can't chat. So I literally picked up the phone and I DM'd you. And I was like, no, absolutely.
Smacking through the thing.
Like, no, Tom, you're way too sauce for that, bro. And I get it. And one of the things that I don't think I would ever explain this to anybody, but again, like you said, we're safe. The one advantage of growing up as a POC is we get talked about all kind of dumb crap from the time we're 3 years old. So we're a little bit better at it, but it never gets easy. Again, idiotic comments never get easy. Somebody said something like mad heinous in Miss Diana's stream the other day, and I was like, bruh. And then so I don't know if you were there or maybe Heather was on with me a couple of weeks ago. And again, I normally ignore them and pay them no mind, but a couple of weeks ago on this show, somebody came in and they said something just fired me up, and I lost it, bro. And I normally don't do that because I'm a soldier. I've been trained to keep my composure, but I just lost it because it's just right now there's too much ignorant stuff going in the world. It's not a time and a place. And it was above me to just like keep going and ignore it, but for some reason I lost my spot and I cursed that person out like on my channel. And again, the thing that I have to remind myself is most people wouldn't say that mess to your face.
Yeah,
right?
of course.
The person that probably said that is actually too young to actually understand how dumb what they're saying. We can't really tell from YouTube necessarily. And then a lot of times I'll go and I'll click on their thing and I'll check their channel and they don't even have any videos.
Of course, yeah. Because if you make stuff, you're never going to say that kind of stuff to somebody else.
Yeah.
Like, the worst thing I'll do is just stop watching something. Like, I'm not going to actually tell the person who's been working on something. Like, that's insane.
Mitch, that is super funny. It's true, Mitch, but it's funny. And then I saw Michael and Mitch back to back in the comments, so now I realize why I called Michael Mitch. But yeah, now I got it. My wife heard so many things from Doc and Diana, and somehow I get when Doc and Diana said it. Oh yeah, I get it. Yeah, it's 100% true. Hey, what's up, brother? I'm glad to see you made it here. John is in the building. Miss D showed up late for class. All right, so we're not going to keep Tom hanging around here too much longer because otherwise we'll never make it into the class. You know what I'm saying? Michael said, I believe that the difference between short form TikTok sharks and longer form YouTube audience is they're more committed to learning and listening. And no, 100% true. 100% true. I believe that's a thing. Anybody else here from Germany? Nichts verstanden Deutsch. So, no. Let me see. Kat is from Canada. So, see, everyone says that, Eliseo. You know what? I have yet to set up my comment filter in a way because I Tinkerbell juice off the negative comments now. You know, before it used to irritate me, but now I know, like we used to say in the rap game, when you get haters, you made it. Like, to me, that it's just a thing. When they start hating, you made it. All right, so I'm going to make sure that we wrap this up because I don't want to keep Tom too long. And then I know that Ben and Finley are going to come and try to pee on his leg. So
right, that's what they do.
it wouldn't be Tom's show if you didn't give me 3 pieces of gear that you couldn't live without. You don't even have to already own it yet. It might be on your list. But what is your top 3 pieces?
Well, if there's something I don't own that I couldn't live without, I feel like that would be a very dangerous place to be in. I can't live without this, and I don't have it.
Well, you know, it might be on your radar. Okay, that was dumb.
Well, first one's right here. Rodecaster Pro. This is... There's like 16 videos, 17 videos on my channel about the Rodecaster Pro. That is the thing that pushed my channel to a point where doing YouTube full-time became a possibility, aside from the fact that it actually like lets me do stuff that I couldn't do otherwise. That is a very special piece of equipment. Rodecaster Pro, 100%. For me, I mean, I could say specific cameras. I'm sure you're excited. I'm using the Sony a7S III. So there we go. But you know, I could say, you know, my cameras and stuff, because I still love my, actually, where is it? What am I doing? How all these things, I never use them. My R. I still love my R and my 2 R's actually.
So yeah,
but I'll say
cameras, 2 R's.
Yeah, R. Well, actually, when it comes to Canon cameras, you would think that a pirate's favorite one is the R, but 'tis the C.
Oh,
the C300. Anyway, I actually really love that joke. I'm super proud of that one. But I'll say a camera, as a solo creator, a camera that has a picture, an image that I like, and really good autofocus. Because you can get by with manual focus, but when you're the one person in front of the camera, you need a camera where you can count on it for the autofocus. And the Sony, good God. Yeah, I mean, like, well, here's another Sony camera. If I hold that up, it'll... There we go. But watch this. Oh, I'm too close. This transition when it goes from the camera to me is like so smooth and natural. It looks like someone's back there turning the ring. And that is something you need. So Rodecaster Pro, camera with good audio, and some sort of really good microphone that suits your voice and is a lot of fun. So for me, I have like too many microphones now, but you can never pay too much attention to your audio. And I mean, that's it. Those three things right there. Like,
Dude, I made my little Tom shelf back there of mics, and I have four on the floor still. And then the deity is chilling right here. My deity shotgun is up there. Like,
I met the guys
mics.
from Deity a week or two ago. I think they're going to send me a shotgun mic. They are super cool. I'm not familiar with Deity at all, but they're like a really cool company that's kind of like great. I don't know if boutique's the right word, but
we
they're
say
like smaller. They can make changes.
They're on Heather's channel. We say bespoke because boutique sounds female.
Okay, they're bespoke. They can listen to what the creator community wants and then immediately like implement these changes. They're cool. So I like them.
There you go.
Lesson for today: good XLR cables.
Oh, bro.
I use crappy XLR cables, but they're cool looking. So
I had a problem with bad XLR cables once, and then I'm kind of janky. So like this one is handmade. It's a digital cable, but yeah, I just had a bad experience, and then I never looked back. Man, I had one more thing I was going to tell you before we left, and I completely forgot what it was. So I guess it doesn't freaking matter. I will say this:
the best part of the stream.
It is your fault that I finally caved in with the RCP, because I was full on the camp that don't need it. Like, I could do without it. I like it. I was never hating on it. I never thought it was dumb. But I was like, I don't need it. I could do without it, blah, blah, blah. I could do these things with the Stream Deck or with the iPad as a launcher, so forth, so on, and et cetera. I already had a good interface, and I was like, this is fine. I don't need it. And then I kept watching your videos, and I was like, man, this freaking dude over here is going to make me buy one. And then I got one. Ecam sent it to me before even I worked there, just because I kept helping out the community. But I knew enough about audio that I was answering those questions about the Rodecaster Pro. And I didn't, although I didn't have one, I knew enough about it that I can kind of explain to people just from audio experience. And then they sent me one. And after I got it, I was like, bruh, what are you tripping? You should have bought this a year and a half ago, even before the firmware got fixed, because it's quite amazing. So, yeah, that was my Tom, is your fault Rodecaster Pro story.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm happy to take the blame for that. I love the Rodecaster. You can get by without it. There's other great tools. I'm not hating on anything, but God, as soon as they announced it, I pre-ordered it because it was just.
And it's one of those things.
Good.
Once you have the tool in your hand and you realize how to use it, again, most people don't do this, but it's important. So anytime you get a new piece of gear, spend a week with it, playing with it. Spend a week with it, doing the thing and seeing what it does, and try to learn it. And it's like, if you're the one of those people, I don't have the time to learn it. Number one, why'd you buy it? Number two, if you don't have the time to learn it, chunk it. Be like, I'm going to take 15 minutes today. It's never 15 minutes. You'll actually use a half an hour because you'll start to get excited about the piece of gear that you bought. If it doesn't excite you in the first 10 days, you got time to return it. Yeah. But if you touch it and you use it, you start doing it, you're good to go. Nothing sucks for me more when someone waits till after the return period is over, and then they try a piece of gear, it doesn't do what they want, and they run to the YouTube and tell the whole world that it sucked because they didn't know how to use it. That drives me insane, because you're harming other people's concept of a dope product. So
yeah, well, it also ties into, this is sort of related, but when you read reviews online and it will say something like, this product was amazing, did everything I needed, came really fast, blah, 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 4 out of 5 stars. I'm like, what?
What?
What is that? Or they give it a 1 star because like the box was damaged in shipping. And I'm like, but that's not giving people an accurate, that's not the thing. Anyway.
All right, gang, I'm going to do some shameless plugging for my man over here.
Yeah, there it is.
Why is that zoomed in? Folks, if you are trying to get your podcast started, and actually I think all creators should create their podcasts. Tom, your Vanna White game sucks, brother. I just wanted to let you know. It's like this. So if you're... I had a podcast, and then I stopped doing it to focus on the channel. The channel got back to the 10K, so now I'll go back and put the solid podcast back in. And then so even though I've been podcasting since before it was actually called podcasting, I still think going through a course or something like this will get you up to date because it'll help you close the gap on some of the things that you do. I think another thing that's dope about the course is if you spend the money, you're probably more likely to do what you said you're going to do. Yes, you can go find all of this stuff searching around, but it's not the same as having people push you in the right direction. So definitely go and check out the Podcaster Playbook. It tells you everything, where to begin, what you need, how long does it take, and by all means.
By the time you're done, you'll have your first episode not only done, but published, or at least ready to publish. And then having done that, you will have developed a workflow so you can just keep going. I wanted it to be like as close to a recipe as possible. Like, get these ingredients, do this with them, get this result. And I'm super proud of it so far. Feedback has been awesome, which is great. Some people have already got their shows up and running. That's really exciting.
I don't even need this, and I'll buy it anyway. But then it'll be super funny because you say you don't need it, and then you'll find something really cool in there that you're like, oh, I didn't know that. So that's the other thing about courses. You should just take them anyway. I find when you're in study mode, you just do better work because you're studying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
So I think that's important. This was super funny. June and I, my brother's in the comments somewhere, we used to sell this stuff to people, and we'd have never thought about connecting it up to use it for a stream, but it's super dope. Wait, let's check out Tom's retro cam.
There we go. This is it now.
Welcome to VH1, and I am your VJ, Mr. Tom Buck.
Yeah, this is my Blair Witch cam over here. This was the thing. This was everything. This is why when people are like, why do you always shoot everything at, super shallow depth of field? I'm like, because I grew up with this.
Thank you.
Like,
oh my God, Tom, you just saved my day. I had this conversation yesterday because people keep saying, why do you always stream in 4K? Why don't you just shoot? Because I come from torture. That's why.
Yeah.
That's a better answer
this is
than
what
my lengthy
you spent your whole life doing. Like,
bruh.
There's nothing. I mean, as soon as DSLRs and all that stuff could start using good lenses to get good looking stuff, it blew my mind. And it was like, yeah, of course. I know, there's a time and a place for things, but yeah, I'll be darned if I'm not going to be at f1.4 as often as possible.
That's funny. Okay, gang, you guys check out Tom over here on his website. There's all the stuff's there. And if you get a chance to, seriously, like, I've been following Tom. I always liked him. I thought he was a good dude. And I saw the podcast where he talked about the ethics statement, and I read this thing, and then I drank some whiskey, and I read it again, and I read it
It's
again.
a little long.
And
but I mean, people can take that too.
It is, bruh.
Yeah, if anyone wants to copy paste that, borrow it, modify it for their own thing, they can totally do that.
All right, you guys heard it here because I'm gonna steal it for sure.
It says on the page you can steal it. So
it is important. Like, when you get in this game, bruh, people are going to want to send you things, and when you first want to take it because you feel like you made it when you get that first offer to get something from like can you show our product, and then you get it, and then it's like. Ugh. It feels oogy, and I don't have any way to explain that, but it feels really, really oogy. Like that one teacher that gets a little too close. It's disgusting. So
yeah, and it's a good thing to have for yourself too, just because I've had friends, especially if their channels grow, they go way beyond like where I'm at, and they get offers for like, I could do a product thing for 10 grand for one video, and they're like, I kind of want to say yes, but they're just sort of something sketchy. And it's like, yeah, okay, you could make a decent paycheck right now, but you've built your channel for 5 years, and now you don't want to just throw that out the window for one payday. Like, you need this to be a thing that's going to keep going for, years. And so having a statement like that is a good reminder to yourself of like, how do I want to navigate things? Like, how do I approach this? What's important to me? And it's for you, the viewer, any potential brands, and it just makes it a win-win-win for everybody in the
extra win.
Yeah.
Rob is hilarious. Rob said, stealing the ethics statement. Think about that. Okay, gang. Guys, man, I got to say big ups to Mr. Tom Buck. We made it all the way through. You don't get mad that I call you Buckminster, right?
No, we do whatever. It's fine.
I can't help it. It just comes out. Gang, next Saturday, I'm going to have on the fantastic Rosemary Orchard. If you are into shortcuts, Mac automation, or just like learning how to be quicker with your Mac, Rosemary's the bomb. She and I guest hosted on Twit together, and she is quite amazing. And then Tuesday, coming up in 2 days, we're going to have on Mr. Irving Fryer. Like, a man, I'm so excited to have him on my show because I hated him most of his career until he made it to the Redskins because I'm a Raiders fan. So he went to go play for the Patriots and couldn't stand that. He played for the Dolphins. Nope, not standing that. And then with the Redskins being my next team, he went to go play for the Eagles. And I was like, come on, dang it. But then when he made it to the Redskins, I'm like, all right, now we cool. So I get to have him on my show. And I just think that's incredible. And I thank Mr. Reverend Dr. Keith Pelzer for hooking me up with that interview because that would just be fun. It would be fun to compare and contrast what it feels like to be a creator versus a professional Super Bowl athlete. Wow, you know, when the Patriots got beat up by the Bears and we are the Bears, the Super Bowl Bears. Remember that?
I know sports, yeah.
With the refrigerator. Stop it, Tom. He's the only Patriot to score a touchdown in the Super Bowl. So how many people can say they'll be a guest on the show that actually scored a touchdown in the Super Bowl?
Not me.
That's okay, Tom.
I've watched the Super Bowl, though.
I'm going to send you a tube of these nuts. Just as a parting gift.
That's what everybody gets now.
No, he comes and guests on my show. You get a tube of these nuts. Oh, my God. Hey, Tom, thank you so much, brother. And please keep doing what you're doing. You guys are so amazing. Like, I just love when you guys come on. I love that you help out the community and, you know, you keep growing. And I honestly see you getting plaqued by the end of the year. I don't want to curse you.
Please don't curse me. But thanks so much. It's been awesome to be here. I mean, you and the whole like Ecamm community has just been so incredibly supportive. It's like one of the best communities you could hope for. So I really appreciate it. I appreciate all you've done for us and all everyone here has done for us. And this has been a total blast. So thank you so much.
All right, gang. And the next time I bring on somebody from the Buck Mirrors family, I will interview Ben and Finley.
Yeah.
It'll
be compelling.
It's super cool. Thank you, everybody who showed up. Don't forget, gang, we're going to start class pretty soon, like a little over an hour and a half. If you want to come and check out the class, hit the Buy Me a Coffee link. You can buy an extra, or you can just become a member. Becoming a member, supports the channel. It allows us to do all of the crazy things, but class is absolute blast. We get together. We have some fantastic subject matter experts, and it's just a nice thing. It's think of Coffee Perk. If you watch Friends, that's us attempting to all get better at what we do because, you know, we all do better when we all do better. Remember that. Yes. All right, gang. Let me find I lost my theme song when I was messing around. I was moving things in the Ecamm demo, and I don't know what the heck I did with my theme song, but yeah, hold on. Sorry, guys. Give me a second. Here we go. Here comes the tune. Play, dang it.
City of mine.
I don't know why I got stuck.
I love the city of mine.
Yes, I will send Tom a link to class if he's not busy. He can call.
City of mine.
Yes, listen to Aubrey. Thank you guys so much. We need the YouTube video or when you use the tube.
I was born in the city, I was raised on its edges. My pop worked his life when it's complex. I found love in its center. If I could live here forever, think it'd be for the better. I love the weather, even though it's fog 24/7. I love the people, this is the city I met all my best friends. And I wanna thank every brick, I wanna thank every entrance to every building that I step in this city of mine. I owe you most my best moments in life. See, I fell in love for the first time in Golden Gate Park. I saw my first rap show at Great American Hall.